I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My family's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make them bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your main man, Uncle Freezy, the #1 chief rocker in Knicks universe. Doing this joint from my phone, man. My computer is deciding to do its own thing. So I'm doing it. I'm rocking from my phone right now. Can y'all hear me okay? Can y'all hear me okay? Jets Life for Life is in the building. Wiz is in the building. El Presidente. Danny Landis is in the building. Alfred Griffin, what's good, man? I see you. I see y'all. Mr. Cox, what's good? Rich Boy is in the building. What's good, man? What's good? What's good? Yeah, man. I'm doing it from my phone for a few minutes, man, while my computer kind of self-corrects, so to speak. You know what I mean? Sitting here in Studio G. In Studio G in my nice comfy chair. You know what I'm saying? One side you got the aquarium, we got posters, we got furniture. It's kind of like a Studio G / man cave in here. Right? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Just trying to figure it out, man. Do this thing from my phone real quick. Yeah, man. Shout out to the chat. I see you. Wiz, Keith Turner, the hip hop legend called Mega is in the building. David L is in the building. Felipe 210 is in the building. What's good, man? My computer keeps saying you're 20% there. You're 30% there, then it goes back down to like 17. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it from here. Yeah, man, a man cave. That I should turn this into a man cave, but Ms. Mocha ain't gonna let me do that to the house. If I get a man cave, I'll probably have to buy like one of those outdoor steel buildings and then convert that. Hey, Mr. Cox is like, yo, some blue and orange, some blue and orange fish in a tank. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. We have to see. I had blue and orange fish in there, and then something went wrong, and they didn't make it. So, but shout out to the chat, man. I want to talk to y'all about a few things, right? Jay Singh is in the building. What's good, Jay Singh? What's good? How do y'all feel about this quiet off season? How do y'all feel about this quiet off season, man? How do y'all feel about this quiet off season? after Jalen Brunson, man, that's and Isaiah Hartenstein. Yeah, the computer is saying updates are on the way. Yeah, this might be a minute, man. Let me do this just real quick. I'm doing this from my phone, y'all, so be patient with me. Yeah, I'm doing it from my phone. I was just communicating with Coach M a few minutes ago. He was trying to rob me in a fantasy football league trade. So if y'all see Coach M, if y'all ever see Coach M somewhere, tell him to take it easy on Uncle Freezy with the fantasy football trades, bro. Coach M ain't no joke, man, with this fantasy football stuff. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can get this thing back on the computer. So Kerry Cox says, "Hey, Coach M is in the building." Coach M is like, "Bruh, I wasn't trying to get everything, just mostly everything." Coach, what's good, man?
You spreading them lies about me, bro.
No, I ain't lying on you,
You
bro.
you
I
you, you
did call
came
you
to
handsome.
me. You came to me for the trade.
I did call you handsome, bro. And I did say you was good looking, and I did say you were rich. Don't even try it.
Hey, you're the one that has the need.
Yeah, I know, man.
I
I
mean,
know.
I was offering you two pretty good receivers.
I know, man. I understand. I understand. I'm just saying I'm just not in that mode. You know what I'm saying?
Now, because those two RBs you got are the only reliable things you got probably.
Yeah.
And Chase.
Yeah. I just didn't want to get aged. I just didn't want to get aged. That's all.
I know. I was trying to. That's why I offered both those receivers and AJ Dillon too. But
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I'm still not 100% with my flex, so I'm still open for that.
I gotta do something, and we gotta fill G-Man's team because I don't think G-Man is operating that team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe we can get a person to operate that G-Man team until I talk to him. Yeah, man.
So what are you thinking about them two? I mean, I don't know what direction you're going in as far as the chat today, but I don't want to change the subject.
Nah, go ahead, bro. What you got? What you got?
Excuse me. Well, we got them 2 roster spots left. Did we talk about who might be, if we don't trade anybody, or if we go into what we got, who are 2 or what 2 kind of players do you think we need to bring in at this point?
Right. I really like that kid, Ben McLemore.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I like Ben McLemore, and I saw another free agent. I think it was Rondo. I think. Hold on. I'll be right back.
So y'all know, what to do. Thumbs up in the chat. If you're new to the broadcast, subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel.
There you go.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
get that official widescreen action.
Them right off that phone, bro. That phone angle is whack. For me, I don't like it. But yeah, man, Darren Wayne is in the building. Kerry Cox, Hard Will's in the building. Will Salkin, Logical Raptors Fanatic is in the building. Paris Duggar, what's good, man? I see you. Yeah, man. Wiz is in the building. Wiz is another one, man.
Salute, Kerry.
Wiz, man, El Presidente will rob you in a fantasy football trade, bro.
Oh, that's how you got is that how you got Lamar now? Wait, I'm confused. Did you just make a trade recently?
I've been had Lamar. I drafted Lamar 29th.
Oh, it was Henry you got.
Yeah, man, just a little something. Man, got mugged. I had to give up 3 starting running backs for Derrick Henry, or whatever it was.
Dang.
And so Darren Wayne says, "Freeze, did you address what Barkley said about his conversation with World Wide West, saying not to believe what was said in the media about the Mitchell trade?" No, because I don't believe Barkley. Like I don't believe in the whole liars pointing out liars. I don't want to get into a den, and I don't like getting into a den of thieves try to figure out who's being honest. You know what I'm saying? You feel me, Coach?
Yep.
You know how like everybody's a crook, and then people are like, well, I'm less crooked than that guy. Nah, man,
it's the pot the pot calling the kettle black.
Yep. Yeah, man. And no offense to Charles Barkley, but he did dunk on Bill Cartwright like 8 straight times at a game I was at. So I don't trust him no more after that. And that was and listen, y'all, most fans, y'all saw 280, 285 Barkley, right? The dude I'm talking about is 255 Charles Barkley. Like when Barkley was like 255, 250? Yo, 250 Charles Barkley might have been the fastest player in the league, bro. Yeah, man. Coach, you remember that when Barkley was like 250? When he looked all skinny in the face? Remember that?
He was wearing them short shorts.
Oh yeah.
Them short shorts, Barkley.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a problem.
Yeah, Charles Barkley used to yam that thing, throw that thing down Bill Cartwright throat. He did it like the best seats I ever had, right? Most games, like most Knicks games I go to, I'm sitting like wherever I can afford to pay, wherever I can afford to get tickets. But this one time, I go to the game, the Knicks are trash, Ewing is hurt, a lot of people hurt. Ticket, I'm sitting like 10 rows up, and you can just hear Barkley dunk on Cartwright. Bam! You're like, God dog it. And they come back and they like, ISO, I got him. Help! Bam! Like, golly!
They have Chocolate Thunder still at the time?
Yeah, he was old. He had left and came back. I think he had left and came back. And I think Moses Malone was in somewhere. I forgot, man. It was crazy. It was a wild era. Yeah, man. And Hard Will says Leon Rose don't even tell you what direction he headed, and we don't know. And so when you hear certain things, you're like, yo, who do I believe?
Maybe he don't know.
Right.
Until he sees what this roster does so far, then he's going to make a decision.
Right.
Because that even though we want a definitive direction, there's the way we play up until the trade deadline might dictate their next move. You know what I'm saying? Like if we mess around and are a few games above 500 and we're 5th, 6th seed record wise, they might be like, maybe if we add a piece, you might be able to make a little run or something. Or if it's looking too good, by Fournier and Randle, and you know.
Yo, and so Paris Douglas says Worldwide West would have denounced it if it were a lie. Not cool to call a person a liar. Yeah, man. The only thing about that is when have you heard Worldwide West address the media, period? When have you heard Worldwide West speak directly to the media? That's one of them things. That's why I'm saying I don't trust these dudes. It's too much stuff going around for a fan like myself to
rumors
to believe. Yeah.
Look at all these rumors.
Yeah, man. The only thing I believe is what I have on tape, what I can point back to. Right? The only thing I believe is what I can point out to, and that's Leon Rose and Mike Breen in that interview. Where Leon Rose is there doing the interview, is video recorded, right? Is video recorded. That's all you can go by. You can't go by nothing else, man. You know what I'm saying? You just can't. No matter what is said on either side or from neutral parties and all that stuff, you can't trust any of that stuff because for one, these dudes have a vested interest in looking clean. So if they made a mistake, they're not going to admit it to you in public. You know? It's just one of them things, man. You know? Yeah, man. I'm not frustrated about that. I'm excited, though, for Jalen Brunson. Coach, you didn't get a chance to catch the Jalen Brunson breakdown thing yesterday, right?
No, I wasn't able to check that out.
Yeah, it's all right, man. It ain't.
I mean, I kind of know a little bit of your opinions on them and all that, but I don't know if you went deeper with it.
Yeah, So basically, what I spoke about was Jalen Brunson's effectiveness with the Dallas Mavericks, and what he had done over the last 2 to 3 seasons, how effective he was with the ball, and then compare that to what Tom Thibodeau already runs, and shows you all and talked about most of the positive stuff that we feel like Jalen Brunson can bring to the table. I think it's a lot of positive stuff. Right? And I was looking for, let me see. Let's see here. Not that one. Not that one. There's a certain thing I'm looking for. When I find it, man, I'm a see. It's not.
I don't know if something's wrong with my headset or the port of my phone. It's like cutting it out.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for.
Well, my biggest thing was always because a lot of people want to talk about this. He played with Luka and he played with this guy and this guy, but I was always intrigued on how he played without him.
Right. Right. I think the kid is going to be really good here in New York. I think he's bringing stability here. That's excellent for us. Stability, so like the young players can develop in a stable and sustainable environment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I'm excited for Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, because I think just from just from his vibe and his style of play. I mean, I just like. So some of the things I watch and the things he does, just, I mean, some of the stats back it up, but and a lot of his statistics and analytics are nice. But just watching him, some of the things he does, a lot of the little things intrigues me, you know.
Right.
And I think, you know, a lot of people want to crack on Tibbs for coaching or whatever, this and that, but that man, I don't care what people say, that man knows how to coach team defense.
Yeah.
And if anyone says there's a little hole, I guess, in Brunson's game, there's a little bit of that, you know. I think he's obviously one of those types. He's a coachable. You know, coaches' sons are always that way. You know, they're always pretty coachable.
Right. Right.
And so you know he's gonna. If the Brunson thing doesn't work, because Brunson's the kind of player that he's the epitome of the extension of the coach on the court. So whatever message and expectations Tibbs has for our team, it's if it doesn't work this year with this point guard, then we know it's a Tibbs problem.
Yeah, I think it'll work though, because the system has been in place for 2 years. So that's one thing that we hadn't done. Had a system in place for a number of years so that you can get continuity. Hey, Coach, let me check something. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna just check something real quick.
Go ahead. So everybody in the chat, which one of you, you know, let me know in chat. Like, what do y'all think about? You know, I know some of y'all aren't fans of Tibbs and the way he does things, and his rotations, but the things I do agree with on Tibbs is, you know, look, when we've had point guards playing well on our team, like even the year we made the playoff when Elfrid Payton was playing some, he was just playing efficiently. He was just not messing it up. He wasn't really doing anything to make us great, but just by him playing an average professional point guard role, we had success. And then when Rose got up in there and started playing above average point guard play, we had even more success. So that's why I'm thinking with this Jalen Brunson situation, it's going to elevate what Tibbs and this team were meant to be.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm with you. Let me read this super chat real quick. Justin D.W. met SGA in the city, and he said someone asked if he ready to play for the Knicks, and he said plays for the Ravens. LOL. Salute you guys. That's funny. That's still funny. That's still funny, yo. That's still funny, man. You know what I'm saying? But let me, Coach, I'm gonna play this thing just real quick because I want people to understand why it is that I'm taking the stance that I'm taking about what I hear from other people and not listening to it. You know, using it as I think it's just off-season chatter. But this right here that you see on the screen is legit words from the horse's mouth. I'm gonna play it real quick.
Are you about what these guys have been able to do in a difficult season, yet still have this kind of growth?
Yeah. You know, you asked me in the beginning about the season and the disappointment and that part of it. And you know, that's definitely there. The fact that we're not in the playoffs, you know, that was our goal. We wanted.
All right. Coach, you heard that, right?
Yep.
My man said we're definitely disappointed that we didn't make the playoffs, and that was our goal.
Yeah.
You heard it. That's what my man said, right? Everybody listen, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it.
I mean, should be most GM's goals, but
yeah. Yeah, and Paris Duggar, thank you for Jen's contribution. Paris Duggar says, let me understand y'all. The Knicks cleared out the old vets, got 11 players, 25 and under, almost traded for Donovan, 24, and the direction isn't clear. No. What I'm saying, Sherwin, is, what I'm saying, Paris Duggar is there are a lot of things that people can say that people can like put together and try to establish. And if you say, if Paris Duggar says one thing and people don't agree, they will swear up and down that Paris Duggar is wrong. Right? They even go to the point like berating each other. Like, for instance, if like what Paris Duggar says, we got 11 kids 25 and under, and almost traded for Spider, right? Whose Spider turned 26 on September 7th. He turned 26. Right? But the thing is, no matter how we piece things together, because what Paris Duggar is saying, I agree with. Like the 11 players 25 years old and younger, I agree with that. But guess what? But guess what, Paris Duggar? Listen to this.
Difficult season, yet still have this kind of growth.
Yeah. You asked me in the beginning about the season and the disappointment and that part of it. And that's definitely there. The fact that we're not in the playoffs, that was our goal. We wanted.
You heard what he said, right? He said, we're disappointed we didn't make the playoffs, and that was our goal. I mean, Coach, you got that's from the horse's mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is Leon Rose right there, right?
Yep.
And I wish I could play the whole thing, but for y'all know the reason why you can't play entire videos on YouTube, whatever. So you know what I'm saying? It's not like I don't want to play the whole thing, right? But Leon Rose said that in April, as soon as the season was over, he said that was our goal.
And the last I checked, Freezy, did we acquire any new younger talent than when he made that comment?
No.
Okay.
Well, Trevor Keels.
Okay. So for the roster, we had, for all the young guys we still had then and still have now, they're all a year older, going to be a year older. So his goal is probably still the same.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, then his belief in these younger guys must be pretty good.
Yeah. And Brunson too. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
sorry, Darren Wayne. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Brunson and Hartenstein are pretty young players too.
Yeah.
Right? But not when we're talking about bringing in guys 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old, like college age guys. I get what you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Like to me, that's like the thing I was alluding to before, like on other panels. Like it's okay to be young and developing if you're doing this upward trajectory and still have goals of making the playoffs. It doesn't mean that's our ceiling and that's what we want to settle for. Like, we get those fans that'll be like, oh, you're just going to settle for just making the playoffs, just be a play-in? No, I'm not. I'm going to be you're only going to be happy with that? No, but I'm a realist, and I'm somewhat intelligent, and I understand if you're on the upward, trajectory, it ain't like we're going to be where we were, last year, then all of a sudden be the championship.
Right.
Those expectations are ridiculous. But as long as there is a steady growth, like, 'cause that's been our problem. We're trying to make these quick fix moves to pivot our you know,
Well, Coach,
our,
let me
our
say this, though.
results like immediately instead of.
I understand what you're saying, but let me say
Yeah.
this to that though. The Jalen Brunson thing is absolutely necessary because if you try to groom a point guard that's the same age as the kids, then it slows down the development of the other young players. It's like
Right.
if you got young receivers, you can't have a young quarterback, right? You got to have a veteran. Like if you have a young running back, you want a veteran offensive line, right? Or vice versa. If you have a veteran veteran running back, you can deal with a young offensive line, young spot. But when everybody is young, when everything is young, the learning curve is steeper. Now when you hit for real. You know what I'm saying? But that is so rare. What you want to do is like for us, we have young wing players that are looking to break out. So instead of bringing in a young point guard to lead them in New York City, when your team is the worst team in the division, it's too much to ask for a 20-year-old point guard, right? You want to bring in a veteran and let the young guys develop. Now, and I agree with him, man. Listen, if I want Grimes and Obi and RJ and Quickly and Mitch and all of them to develop, I'm going to bring in a guy like Brunson. I think it was an excellent move. I think it was an excellent move, right? And so, but the thing about it is when we have to cast aside the fact that we've been losing for so long, and just think about us just losing last year. Like we got to stop dragging dead bodies. Now I know that's hard to do, especially for me, because I've been a fan since the '70s, and I don't have my own championship. So anytime we talk championship, I'm like, yo, I need mine right now. I don't care. I need mine right now. Because in a league with 30 teams in it, in a league with 30 teams in it, man, you figure every now and then your time will come. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, man, the Cincinnati Bengals almost won the Super Bowl last year. You know what I'm saying? The LA Rams won the Super Bowl. Coach, when's the last time the LA Rams won the Super Bowl before then?
Like before the merger.
Before Deacon Jones and them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. So if you're a Rams fan, if you're a Bengals fan, man, listen. If you're a Detroit Lions fan,
Bengals never won.
Yeah, if you're a New York Jets fan, if you're a New York Knicks fan, bruh, if you're a New York Rangers fan, you ain't won since '94. Come on. You know what I'm saying? It's that feeling of, yo, enough is enough. So I understand where people come from. My deal, though, the reason why I played the Leon Rose thing is because Barkley can say one thing, Worldwide West can say one thing to Barkley. Donovan Mitchell can say something in Cleveland, Ohio, all that stuff. They can allude to say, I know more of such and such. It's more to it than such and such. I get all of that. But what we know for a fact, man, what we know for a fact is that this guy said this.
Season, yet still have this kind of growth.
Yeah. You asked me in the beginning about the season and the disappointment and that part of it. And that's definitely there. The fact that we're not in the playoffs, that was our goal. We wanted to be in the playoffs. We wanted to take a step.
So not only make the playoffs, Coach, but take a step. Y'all heard that? You hear what this man is saying?
Take a step back. That's what.
Yeah, that man said we were disappointed that we didn't make the playoffs. This team wanted to take a step. Y'all know what that means? They wanted to get out of the first round. That was their goal.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that the chat is not smart. That's not what I'm saying, y'all. I'm not saying that you guys are not smart. I'm not saying that y'all are not sharp. I'm not saying that y'all can't put two and two together. What I'm saying is there is so much information out here. There is so much smoke out here that sometimes it's just best to get the information from the horse's mouth. That man said that. That man said that in April, and have not spoken to the media since directly. That man has not been on camera talking to us since, right? Even yesterday or the day before, whenever RJ did his thing, there was an opportunity for him to speak. There were cameras there, everything rolling, and they said nothing.
In case people didn't see that RJ interview, I suggest you check it out and notice some of the things that he voluntarily brought up without directly being asked.
Yeah.
For example, one of them was nothing was asked about Coach Tibbs, but he volunteered the information about how, the influence of Coach Tibbs and his coaching, and he brought all that up on his own.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if RJ is rocking with Tibbs and the players are rocking with Tibbs, I mean, what do we got to do? We got to rock with them and figure it out, I guess. So I don't know.
Right. And so I didn't. Oh, go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying it'd be different if, like, the interviewer gave him like a leading question. It's like, so what do you think about,
An open-ended question?
Yeah, an open-ended question. Where, he could have allowed, she was particularly asking about Tibbs, but he brought that up on his own. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you got a coach in your head enough when it's an interview about you and you signing and your team, and you bring up the coach, then whether we like it or not, he's a positive influence on him in some fashion, or he's got some kind of a hold on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in his head in one way or another.
Right. Right. No doubt, man. No doubt. I'm not knocking any of them guys in this sense, guys. So yeah. So don't think I'm going after somebody because I'm not. The only thing I want to do is make sure that we avoid the 10-car pileup.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times 10-car pileups don't come from people's inability to drive. It comes from people being distracted. One person is distracted, and then it causes a 10-car pileup.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. Yeah, man. And so Alawa says, so wait a minute. So Don P says, just hop in. So I'm reading them. Oh, okay. I thought you was talking about something with me. On my bad. Alawa says, you already know the front office gonna lie to y'all. What y'all want them to say? That's why I say two things can be true at the same time. Gotta wait and see. Not complaining about yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, Leon, because he knows how rabid the Knicks fans are about not being in the playoffs, and we expect them to go in that direction. He's got to pander and make that comment, obviously. But at the same time, I still think in his head, he wants his cake and eat it too. Where he I think he doesn't know. I mean, I think he knows the direction, but at the same time, the players we have right now, we're going to dictate their next move. I don't think they know what their next move is until we see what happens with this group at this stage.
I think the direction is exactly what he said. They want to make the playoffs. If the kids get them to the playoffs, cool. If vets get them to the playoffs, cool. He don't care about none of that stuff. He want to get the best players possible to get them to the playoffs and make some noise. That's what I think it is. Right? Like, if these kids take a step and make some noise and you know what I'm saying, get to the playoffs and maybe But like if them 11 kids that Paris Duggar referenced, if they take a step and kind of usher this team into the second round of the playoffs, then he cool with it. But if they don't, I think he's gonna move them and try to get some pieces in here that'll help them get to at least to that second round of the playoffs, step by step, taking steps.
How many steps you think we are away? 5 steps.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing for me. We're always a couple steps away. So I mean, every team in the NBA is a couple steps away. I mean, we've seen it every year. There's a surprise team or two. What did they do? I mean, look at us. What we were the year before we made that playoff run 2 years ago.
Right. And no doubt, man. And what I'm getting at is ultimately what that man said. Ultimately, what that man said. Yo, Rivera is wild. Yo, Rivera, wake up, Greenie from LI, so I can get Nick Chubb. I need Nick Chubb, Rivera. Somebody wake up Greenie. Tell him Uncle Freezy need Nick Chubb. I'll pay him for him. But anyway, back to basketball, man. I think Leon Rose is like, word. This is the plan. We got to make the playoffs and got to make noise, man. We got to build upon the momentum that we already have. We can't regress and go backwards because it's hard to make progress in this league, right? But here's the question: do you begrudge Leon Rose if he is going to do whatever it takes for the Knicks to make progress in the playoffs? That might mean trade your favorite player. Listen, that might mean trading Randle, and y'all know if this dude trade Randle, I'm gonna be hot, right? I'm telling y'all now, if this dude trades Randle, I'm gonna be scorching hot, bro. You know what I'm saying? If that dude trade Randle, you're gonna be able to fry eggs on my back. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be hot. But he might do it if he feel like if it's in the best interest of the team. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Afro the Jedi, man. Hey, Coach M is the person that we designated to do all the fantasy stuff. So we have to ask Coach M if he got time to do that stuff, a league and all that stuff. But I'll talk to Coach M about that off the screen. We'll probably do it on the Legends channel, like all the fantasy stuff over there.
I'm down if we have dedicated people. I'll just say that sentence.
Dedicated people. Yeah.
Like we can't have these half in, half outers, you know.
Yeah.
Like the front office of the Knicks, apparently.
And East Blue Drew says, and Canadian Bacon. Bro, if he trade Randle, if they trade Randle, bro, I'm telling y'all now, get ready for the y'all remember that song by Talib Kweli, The Blast? Get ready for to get blasted with Randle Love for at least 3 weeks. 21 days straight. 6 hours a day of Uncle Freezy. You know what I'm saying? 126 hours over 21 days of Uncle Freezy talking about how much he missed Randle. I might play a slow jam or something. Yo, and listen, and it might be the same for one of y'all favorite players, man. Like if Leon Rose trade Obi to you know what I'm saying, to get another 6'4" guard to play on the wing, I know y'all gonna be hot. But my man gonna do the best he can do. You know what I'm saying? My man gonna do the best he can do to get this team to make a step in the playoffs. Y'all heard what my man said. Yes, we're disappointed we didn't make the playoffs. We wanted to make the playoffs and take a step. Y'all heard it right out of my man's mouth. I just played it. Sherwin, hey, Coach, so Sherwin says, Cam Reddish's upside is superstar.
Yeah, I agree. He's got all the intangibles. He's got to put it together, stay healthy. I mean, people can say what they want about that Atlanta situation, but he was in a situation that, I don't know, it was just different. That's a different kind of point guard. That point guard is not conducive to his playing style. I'm just saying. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna get in a Cam Reddish debate unless that's the topic right now.
I'm gonna say, Mama say, Mama sigh. That's
Hey, I agree with Sherwin with that. That is his upside. Now, getting in his mentals and the unselfishness and to not being a ball hog because you don't know when you're gonna go back in again.
Yeah.
Taking crazy shots because you're trying to get your shots up.
Yeah.
All that's got to go. Obviously, stay
Right.
healthy. But that man, if he's a 30-minute player and those other things are quote unquote fixed, he's a 17 to 20 point scorer in the NBA, 30 minutes a game.
I think he's that with Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
I think he's that with Jalen Brunson, man. I think the Jalen Brunson addition is very slept on, right? And so for the record, everybody, just so that people will understand where I'm coming from with the Cam Reddish thing. So last year, Cam Reddish had a career high in field goal percentage. I think it's a career high in field goal percentage. Yeah, a career high in field goal percentage. What's the other one? What's his 3-pointer at? He shot poorly from three with the Knicks, but he shot about 38% from three in Atlanta through 34 games. Right? From the free throw line, he shot 90%. Right? He averaged 6 points per game with the Knicks in about 14 minutes a game. I can't see Cam Reddish ever having numbers that low ever again. Ever. Right? I would love to see Cam Reddish. So, Coach, let me fix the Knicks. Okay, you want me to fix? Okay, let me fix the Knicks. All right. So first of all, I'm gonna fix the Knicks like this. I love Derrick Rose, but in order to fix the Knicks, Derrick Rose is out.
I know.
Out of the rotation.
I agree.
And it's not because I dislike Derrick Rose. It's not because I dislike Derrick Rose. But you have 12 players, 13 players that you want to see play, right?
Yeah.
Right? You want to see Jericho Sims play, right?
Not as much as I want to see Hartenstein, but
No, but that wasn't the question. I'm asking if you want to see Jericho Sims play, though.
some,
Right.
a little bit.
But you would like to see him play. I would like to see him play.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I want to see Jericho Sims 30 minutes.
Right.
I'm saying I just want to see him play, period.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I want to see Miles McBride play. Right? I'm not saying Miles McBride played 35 minutes, but I want to see him play. Right?
If you can get into about 40, 50 games for about 8 to 10 minutes here and there,
Right. So I want to see Sims. I want to see McBride. I want to see Farron Hunt. I want to see Hartenstein. I want to see Obi. I want to see Grimes. I want to see Quickly. And I want to see
Reddish.
Reddish, and Grimes, right? And then at the starters, I want to see Brunson, Fournier, RJ, Randle, Mitch, right? Now, when you say 12 names, bro, notice I said 12 names. I didn't even mention Derrick Rose.
I know.
Right?
I mean, we already know what we got with him.
Right. What I'm saying,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not, listen, I don't have nothing against Derrick Rose, right? But in order for these young kids to get on the floor and get roles and get minutes, some of these guys have got to go, man. That's why I am a fan of the Russell Westbrook trade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the Lakers is exactly what Rose. That's what he's built for right now. For that situation. And Fournier.
And Fournier. Yeah. You put that $32 million together, that's perfect for them. Just give that, hey, y'all take that $32 million. Right? And I know my man takes 47, contract is $47 million, but I'm hoping that we can get a trade exception from somewhere and then make the trade, make the trade work. Like maybe send off like a bunch of second round picks to get a trade exception so that some team can take on some money so the Knicks can keep all the kids. And then you get Westbrook, and guess what the first thing you do to Westbrook? No, don't go to the trainer's office, bro. Don't look for no uniform. You cut him, you waive him, right? And you still got his money on the books. It'll be an expiring contract, but now you can play the kids without kids looking over their shoulder.
Yeah.
And you get draft picks down the road for doing a deal, right? Right? You get more than likely what'll happen is the team that jumps in that helps create the trade exception, they'll get one of those draft picks from the Lakers instead of us. But so what? So what? I'm here for it. I want to see these kids play with Jalen Brunson. Right? I want to see the development of Quentin Grimes and RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, Farron Hunt, Emmanuel Quickly, Hartenstein, Mitch, Sims. I want to see all these dudes play, bro. They play with more energy when the youth is out there, man. And when I watched the Summer League, I was like, yo, they can't execute in the half court, but in the open court, you saw live legs and energy. And with the Knicks, you saw a Knicks team that could execute in the half court that just couldn't shoot. But everything else they did in the half court was all right. And so I understand what people are saying, like some people are down on Grimes, others are down on Obi, some are down on RJ, some are down on Reddish. But man, you don't know what these kids can do until you give them roles and let them thrive in those roles. At least for 2 years, coach. At least for 2 years. I would say do that this year and then run it back next year. See what you got. Because the alternative is a ceiling of 41 wins. Right? That's just about it. The ceiling, so-called experts say the ceiling is about 41, 42, 43, 44, 45 wins tops. And coach, and if you get rid of some of the veterans, move the veterans out the way, clear the runway for these kids to play, and those kids, you get you to 45 wins, now you got something.
Yeah.
But if these kids don't get you there, and you find out that these kids are flawed, and say you lose a bunch of games, now you're like, okay.
Yeah, questions are answered.
Right.
There's no more that, well, how do you know thing? They don't play.
Right.
But it also comes down to this, because I see a lot of people talk about, oh, well, this guy was this pick, and this guy was the 10th pick, and this guy was this pick. You can't, they can't be this, they can't be that. They're supposed to be this. Look, it's simple math. Every year, there's 60 guys drafted, right? in 2 rounds. All 60 of them dudes don't get on rosters. The math don't fit.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, granted, if you pick the lottery, you're hoping to get a starter that's going to play for 10 years for you. You know, that's a best case scenario. But how many times does that happen, right? You can look at the percentages. So if you pick 10th, aka Obi, and all he becomes is a really solid rotational post player for you that gives you energy off the bench, and he gives you a little scoring pop and some energy on a team that's in an upward trajectory and it's a playoff team, then that's fine. I'm fine with that. But we won't know he's worth that until he's used more, that we can count on him for that, you know? Same thing with some of these other guys. We can't have 10 guys on the bench that we don't know yet, you know? Right. And like some of these people think like you got to keep bench guys. You got to have guys you can count on the bench, or if God forbid someone gets hurt, they can step up, next man up. You know, some people say like, "Oh, they're bench players, get rid of them." No, it's okay. You're supposed to have some bench players that are quality players. This is the NBA, Jack. Yeah. You know, IQ is a quality young guard who's still getting better. He has value. I agree. I don't think he's a starter, but he is a valuable piece on the bench. That's fine. We can hone that. We can keep that. We can.
Better than Cam Reddish.
I mean, technically, yeah. Right now, as far as what we can count on him for.
Yeah,
but
and I say that, Coach. I threw that out there. You know why? Because that's no matter what player you would have said just now. Like, say if you'd have said, "Yo, Cam Reddish is such and such and such," people would have been like, "Yo, he better than Obi."
Yeah, I know.
That's the reason. Yeah. That's the reason why I threw that. That's the reason why I threw that out there. Like,
yeah,
not because I dislike Cam Reddish. I like Cam Reddish, but it's a debate we constantly have.
Yeah, and so when I'm pounding my chest for some of these guys that pound on their chest about some of these ham sandwiches they love so much, it's because they want them to start and it's like crazy like stuff. Like they want to count on them for like more than what they're ready for. I'm pounding my chest for people that are going to be a contributing member to this team. It takes 8 to 10 solid players to contribute to a winning team. You need that many quality players to be a playoff team.
And when's the last time D'Angelo been in the video chat with us? It's been a minute, right? Hey, D'Angelo, everything good, bro?
Brown sugar.
What's good, D'Angelo, man? How you been, brother? And we ain't seen you in a minute.
How does it feel? I know the reference.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
just don't come in here shirtless.
Yeah,
showing.
Yeah, D'Angelo. Hey, that's our guy right there, man.
Yeah,
it's been a minute, man. But
he was in here a couple weeks ago. The last time I saw him.
And Don P, man, I understand what Don P is saying too. Oh, come on, Don P, man. Don't do that. Don P just said, I lied. Brunson a ham sandwich until I see otherwise in the Knicks jersey. Come on, Don P. Don't do that.
Come on.
That dude ain't a ham sandwich. We had the numbers. I put them up last night. You know what I'm saying?
Have you designated what that true meaning of your ham sandwich analogy? Have we really established that, or is that a morphing thing?
No, so the thing about it is I didn't really want to. I try to stay away from it, but people like it's like a knee-jerk thing to me. Like I try to stay away from the ham sandwich conversation. I don't have it on any rating scale. Like either you're a spam sandwich to a pastrami on rye. So I don't have a sandwich scale, right?
Right.
And so people are like, yo, nah, man, you know what I'm saying, blah blah blah. Basically, what it was is people were calling Quentin Grimes Ray Allen with defense.
That so makes me laugh every time I hear it.
Oh, dudes legit were calling Quentin Grimes.
Pump
saying
the
Quentin
brakes.
they were saying Quentin Grimes was comparable to Klay Thompson. And all I'm saying is just relax, man. Let that young player develop into whatever he is gonna be. And people like, nah, man. Nah. He's Reggie Miller. He's Reggie Miller and Gary Payton mixed together. Really? Reggie Miller? Gary Payton mixed together? Yeah, Uncle Freezy, you sleep on his point guard skills. Parasaka, thank you for the generous contribution. Parasaka says, so the 4th seed weren't supposed to try to make the playoffs last year, but once they failed, it's a contradiction to now pivot to a youth movement. Let me think about that with Parasaka. Coach, you got anything to say? I got to think about what Paris said because it's got like 3 different layers to it.
Well, when they decided to, drop Nerlens and, some of them other guys that were part of that 4th seed, okay, I'm assuming they did some of those moves to make the next moves to free up space for the next move. Like, because they honestly thought, unfortunately, I mean, I don't care what people say in here. Everyone could say, like, oh, I knew he wasn't going to be nothing. No, you didn't. Because Kemba Walker at first was, if this was Kemba Walker, I knew he wasn't prime Kemba anymore. But if he was just kind of close, that if he played like prime Kemba, we would have made the playoffs. Am I not right about this? Think about why we lost games, and this is something that you said, that Kemba Walker was responsible for at least 8 to 10 losses for this team. I remember you saying that.
I think Kemba Walker was washed, and I think they knew he was washed, and I think they tried to catch lightning in a bottle.
Okay, all right. I'll give you that part then. Like, I didn't have any delusions thinking that Kemba was prime Kemba. That's what I'm saying. But I thought he was going to be serviceable enough as far as a veteran point guard and was going to hold on to some kind of, at least serviceable, Right. But he wasn't even that, apparently. I didn't know he was that hurt.
Right.
I mean, maybe I didn't look into him. Maybe I didn't look into it enough. I don't know. Let
me say this about what Paris Douglas said, just real quick, just so this.
Yeah.
So the 4th seed wasn't supposed to try to make the playoffs last year. Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Yes, they were, Paris Douglas. That's the reason why it took so long to answer the question, because I agree with you here. They were trying to make the playoffs, but once they failed, it's a contradiction to now pivot to a youth movement. No, that's not what I'm saying. Paris Douglas, that's not what I'm saying at all, man. That's not, you're not hearing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there is a lot of noise out here on the airwaves about the direction of the team and why things fell apart and all this stuff. So instead of trying to fish through all this smoke and all these intentional misdirections, I'm just getting the info from the horse's mouth, right? So this is directly to Paris Douglas. If Leon Rose says, hey man, we tried and we failed, we're going to do a youth movement now, I would be totally on board. I would be like, okay, that's what he said.
That's what Utah's supposedly doing.
Yeah, so my thing is not what Leon Rose is doing. My thing is what people are saying Leon Rose is doing. If that makes sense. Rivera, what's good?
What's up, y'all?
What's up, Kendall?
What's up, y'all?
Ain't nothing to it.
Did you see that Mitchell interview with Windhorse?
Oh yeah,
No,
I saw.
I did.
What you talking about? The one where he said he thought he was in Nick?
Yeah, he thought he was in, and then he talked about how the Utah thing unfolded for him. Like he thought they were gonna keep trying to build it. They didn't even, you know, they didn't even approach him. They
Wow.
basically they sweep Royce O'Neal out from under him, who was his best friend.
Right.
They snuck him, and then the Rudy part he didn't do. Then that's when he knew it was on.
Right.
You know. So.
Wow.
So, you know, you got situations like that. You know, imagine being a Utah Jazz fan. I mean, I'm not saying, oh, I feel bad for Utah, you know, whatever. But, you know, they went from the number 1 seed to, you know, really competitive again. And then all of a sudden they just blow it up.
Yeah, but I bet you they rebuild before we do.
Right. And we got fans, and a guy just put a comment, you know, we got guys making comments that you know, why are we pivoting if we were going to make the playoff? Well, you got teams pivoting that went far in the playoffs. You got teams pivoting that were just the number 1 seed 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So
that's just how it goes.
And so what Paris Duggar is saying, though, what Paris Duggar was saying is basically, from what I got from what Paris Duggar was saying, if you coming off the 4th seed and you tried to make the playoffs and you failed,
right?
Is it a crime to then just pivot and go with the youth movement?
No, it's not a crime.
No, and so that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
I agree with you, Paris Duggar, and what you're saying there. I said this before. What I'm getting at is, if that's what you're doing, Leon Rose just say that,
right?
Because for a fan base that's thirsty for information, they clamor to whatever information is out there. You know this. You've seen the boom and media outlets all over the place, just like this one. Just like Blorange Tears, media outlets are everywhere, right? And people and before people get it twisted, like, there is a difference between a journalistic news outlet and a media outlet. There's a difference, right? Like, I don't have to sit up here and abide by journalistic integrity, even though I want to. Even though I want to do that. But there are other outlets that do that type of stuff. They're the same. They pose as news outlets, even though they are entertainment entities, right? So, Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, have you ever communicated wastefully to know it all? Know it alls? Have you ever communicated wastefully to know it alls? I get what you're saying. That's a question, right? That's a question, right? What I would say to that is it's not that. Sometimes you just have to clear the air.
And, you know, another person said in the chat, it's a good point. Like, you can still have a youth movement and have some, you know, success. Like, for instance, you know, look at Cleveland last year.
Right.
They had that 4th seed for a minute, for a lot of the season. Then they, you know, dropped down to like the 7th seed or whatever. And Jared Allen, when he was at the Nets at first, I didn't think he was going to break out a little bit like he did for Cleveland. He didn't look like that when he was playing for, you know, the Nets that first year or two. You know, and yeah, a lot of people knew Garland was going to be pretty good, and, you know, Mobley had a lot of hype coming out of high school and then, you know, USC or whatever. But, you know, they were still rocking with a couple of good vets too. You know, they had the Love still going, and LeVert, right? So like, why can't we do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got Randall's kind of like our Kevin Love-ish a little bit. We still got kind of even though Love's older, obviously, but you got to have a vet or two in the mix with your younger guys. You know, like we got to give these guys a chance to turn into that. You know, let's do it at this point.
You know, it's a perfect example of pivoting. The Boston Celtics, because when they had Kyrie and Gordon Hayward, they were supposed to be the guys. They eventually got hurt. Obviously, we saw the horrific injury from the first game, Gordon Hayward, and then Kyrie, whatever. Kyrie got hurt, but then they saw the young guys playing and they was winning, and they made the playoffs, and then they just made a pivot and said, you know what, we're gonna go in that direction of Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, and those young boys, because they gave them the chance and the opportunity to show what they got, and they showed that they could be franchise players, and that's what the Knicks need to do. That's exactly what they should.
But see, their hand was forced though because of injury. That's the difference. That was the only difference. Which like that's where our chance, like technically, was last year when we had our injuries at the guards. Like that was our chance to show what some of our young guys could have done, but we didn't, unfortunately.
But even still, like the next season, they could have brought all those guys back and just ran that, you know what I mean? Like ran the same veterans and all of that. They could have still did that, but they said, nah, I'm going to go with these young boys.
Well, because they were Jalen Brown and Tatum.
Yeah, but they wasn't Jalen Brown and Tatum yet. I mean, Tatum showed the flashes, but Jalen Brown was in his second year, wasn't Jalen Brown yet.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's where last year they should have, brought one or two of them young guys more in the mix on our team. That was their chance with the injuries and the opportunity that we didn't take advantage of. But now we got to do it this year. I mean,
yeah. Don P, what's good, man?
Yo, what's good, Freezy? What's up to the panel? How's it going?
Man, you gotta stop showing up backstage with them weird names.
Yo, I had to reset my whole phone, so everything got a whack right now.
Okay. How you been, brother?
Don.
Yeah, man. Y'all know I'll be wilding on the chat or whatever, man. And listen, my opinions on Brunson, it's not personal. It's not basketball related reasons. I'll admit. It's emotional. I feel like the front office had options of who we could get at the point as far as the point guard. Or we could have waited. And I feel like the fact that the front office honed in on Jalen Brunson for a minute, I just felt like, damn, like you couldn't get the DeJounte Murray. You couldn't get other players.
I knew you were gonna say that.
You couldn't get what's that dude from Minnesota? Not from Minnesota, from Memphis Grizzlies, the backup point guard. Tyus Jones?
Yeah,
you couldn't get him for cheap. Like I understand though. I understand though.
You couldn't get Trey Jones from San Antonio?
I mean, what? Somebody for cheap. I just felt like, yo, Jalen Brunson, he's nice. I'm gonna sit there and reckon and say this right now. He's nice. He's good. But I don't see how somebody like him fits Tom Thibodeau's system, seeing as that he has a horrible reputation on defending at the point of attack. I'm just saying.
So reputation and what's fact are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
So if I ask you, Don P, let me ask you, who is a better defender, Jalen Brunson or Lou Dort? And I'm just saying, who is a better defender, Jalen Brunson or Lou Dort? And I'm letting you right now. It's a trick question. Because you're my man.
Lou Dort.
Lou Dort is definitely not a better defender than
No. I'm not, I don't know that. I'm not familiar with Lou Dort.
Lou Dort is the defensive wing from the Oklahoma City Thunder. He is a defensive wing that doesn't play defense.
He has the reputation and perception
of being a lockdown defender.
Yeah, but the stats say different.
You know what, Uncle Freeze, point taken. I get that point, but what I will say is this: Tyus Jones, a way cheaper option than Jalen Brunson, is known to be a better passer.
We Yeah, ham sandwich compared to
but why is the price? What does the price have to do with the worth? Like
Right.
it's two different things.
See, and that's why I had a problem with everybody be like, yo, stop checking another man's pockets. In this instance, I feel like when it comes to the players that we serve, yeah, we do got to be mindful of that, because when we really do want a superstar, that's what comes into question. Can we afford to have them? Do we have enough money in the cap space?
We do, because comparatively
Yeah,
to
right
other like fringe all-star level players, the three players that we have that are on the cusp of if they play how we think they can play next year, we have three players that are almost all-star level players, and for the price that we got them at, it's actually value. Because most all-stars have like a $25 to $30 million a year price tag.
See, and I hate to move the goalpost just a little bit, but if that's the case, why was it hard for us to move Randle?
Because the front office is trash. That's why.
Yeah, but also people gotta want Randle. Randle kind of messed that up for himself.
And the thing is that this whole infatuation people have because someone perceptionally is more athletic per se. Like obviously, when people think DeJounte Murray, like, oh, he can dunk, he can do this, he can do that, like as far as eye candy, yeah, he looks like a sexier option. But in the end, I don't know if he's a better fit for what we need.
So just like Uncle Freezy asked me, I'm gonna ask you, Coach, who's a better defender, DeJounte Murray or Jalen Brunson?
But I don't know, because it doesn't matter, because we were ninth in defense last year with horrible point guard play. So if we just have a serviceable point guard, it's not going to hurt our team defense that much. Like the other things,
yeah.
We're not going to be hurt. Like what he brings, positive wise, far outweighs anything we've lost defensively at the point. Like who was our defensive point lockdown last year?
Nobody. But
that's what I'm saying. And we were ninth in defense. So
with Alpha Payton on the year before that, we actually made it to. Now, I'm not saying he was the only contributing factor, but him and Reggie Bullock played a huge part in the fact that we made the playoffs.
And Nerlens Noel. And Nerlens Noel too.
And Nerlens Noel as well. And why we made the playoffs. It's like people bring out, and I'm not trying to single you out, Coach.
No, I know
stats about the team. It's just that the difference between the past year that we had and the year before that, when we made it to the 4th seed, was the fact that we was getting stops. We was getting stops on a consistent basis. We was getting stops. So I think defense does matter in that respect, because Tom Thibodeau's roster is at his best when his guys can get stops.
Okay.
I mean, I think team defense is more important than individual pieces defenses. Okay, because now, just for an example, like look at would you consider Luka Doncic a high defensive quality, a defensive player?
No.
Okay.
No.
Somehow their superstar and the catalyst and the driving engine of that whole team, they were still 7th in the league in defense with Jalen Brunson starting point guard. So
Tim Hardaway and a bunch of dudes that can't defend. One time, didn't they have the Curry kid one time too?
Probably. My only question
Trey
for you
Burke
is this: like, I think, let's say, all right, we didn't get DeJounte Murray because you had to trade for him, and it probably could have cost a lot, right? So the other guys that you named, that's during the season, you would have said like, "Yo, we need a point guard. We need a point guard. Our point guard situation is trash." With the other guys you named.
Can you repeat the first part of what you said so I can respond?
All right, so say we don't, because DeJounte Murray would have cost a lot, correct? Like that would have cost a lot. That he was traded for. It wasn't. Right. It wasn't like he was a free agent or anything. So you said why we didn't go a cheaper way? So that would be Tyus Jones and the other guy you named, correct? So you think that they would have manned the ship like in a year? So we would have said, "Oh, we need a point guard. We need a point guard." So we just lock the point guard up for the next 4 years. I
I'm
would think
glad
that's
you.
better.
I'm glad you came up with that statement. And I don't see when I said Tyus Jones, I don't think that somebody like him is necessarily going to get it done or get us to that promised land. I just think that he will be a solid piece on any team with his skill set. As far as Jalen Brunson goes, it's this air of Jalen Brunson is gonna. There's no doubt he's gonna take us there. And
Hey, Don P, listen, I'm gonna tell you now, bro. There's no doubt Jalen Brunson is gonna take us there.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's not only, and I've said this a bunch of times.
Yeah,
it's not only what he can just personally do. It's what he will let RJ be able to do now, and what he'll let Randle be able to do. It ain't gonna be just him taking us there. The things that he's gonna take away from them, the burden that he's gonna take off of those two players to let them cook the way they're supposed to cook with what they're supposed to be counted on, is what his worth is. Like, to me, and if he needs to be, and what I like about him is he's a chameleon. Okay.
Yeah,
And
but can I say something, Coach?
What's great? Let me just finish one last sentence. No, just this one last sentence, and then you can rock.
Okay.
Like, what's great about having a chameleon at the point guard is he doesn't have to play like these other guys that we talk about, like, the ball dominant guard, or this guy's got to always shoot, or this guy's got to always do this or this. He's been in both situations in Dallas. He's been in it where he had a ball dominant player and he had to facilitate to him, and he was still had his successes. And then when Luka was out for like 17 to 18 games, he took on the scoring load. He took on the things that the team needed to succeed. So those are the kind of players we need. So if we have a rough game where RJ's a little off, Randle ain't scoring that much. I know it's a run-on sense. Like Jalen Brunson, can pick up the scoring load one night. And one night he don't have to. So go ahead, D'Angelo.
Salute everyone. Hi,
hey, what's up, bro?
Salute.
What's up, D'Angelo?
Chat and everybody on the panel. Thank you.
How you been, bro?
Busy. I'm just waiting for the calm before the storm with the season. That's how I look at it right now.
Yeah.
Because I listen. What you're saying, Coach, is one thing. I'm not questioning Brunson's, talents and all that, but it's his supporting cast that he has, and who he's dishing the ball to. And people, I don't want to get overconfident with the guys that we got. I think we got to average the good players that Brunson's going to be playing with. Our backup point is crippled legs Rose over there. So, and he, Tibbs is going to overplay him too, till his legs fall off. It's just we got this coach who's so stuck in his ways. He's going to do what he's going to do with his team, and he's got no choice but to play young guys because we got rid of some of the trash and we didn't get up the biggest pound of trash, which was Randle. He should not be here, but that's just another thing for another day. And that's why no. Why
do you think we should have Randle? I'm curious because I always see you make little comments.
I want
to see your justification of why you shouldn't have Randle. Like, besides, you just don't like him
because he's not. Listen, you want to say listen, with his mentality on this team playing in New York.
There we go.
He's not a fit. No, he's not. He's not a fit for New York. He is not. He can do whatever he wants. Well, listen, he showed me a lot of disrespect to the fans and everybody last season, and we don't have to get into all that because we've gone over 1,000,000 times.
Because he gave the thumbs down and he rolled his eyes.
He's not a winning player in my book. Okay, the ultimate choke artist. Please, I don't want to hear about Randle. He's got a lot to prove this season. We'll soon find out again because he ain't going anywhere. Nobody wants him because they would have made the deal. They were trying to trade his ass. Excuse me, family show. They were trying to trade him, but they couldn't because nobody wanted him. Okay, and again, he's a big baby.
Actually, I don't think we tried to trade him. There was no trades put out there, were there, by us? We didn't shop them.
Rumored. Everything's rumor, and I don't believe
Yeah.
that.
No, it was rumored that those teams were interested in him. It wasn't rumored that we were shopping him.
Well, I don't know. He's still here, which is it's going to be a detriment to this team. So that's just my belief. That's my opinion. I don't like. I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a fan. He's been in the league a lot of years, and he's still got
if we make the playoffs and Randle has a solid, efficient year, are you willing to
listen, Coach,
rescind your opinion? I'm just asking.
Coach, I ain't stupid. Listen, I want egg on my face. Okay, I want to be wrong about it because I'm the ultimate Knicks fan right here.
I'll be there to crack it, but if he's horrible, I'll be in line with you to say get him out of here.
Yeah, no. Listen, this is it. This is do or die this season in my book with him, the front office, and this coach. This season, there's got to be a lot. It's got to be all left out there on the court. It's got to pan out in our way. I want to listen. It's not just winning 10 straight right out of the chute. It's showing the consistency the rest of the season, and these guys playing with one another, and the chemistry's got to fit. It's got to fit. You know that's all about chemistry, and it's about what goes on in the locker room over there. You know, especially listen. I've been hard on Randle, yeah, and a lot of the fans have been. Okay, I don't believe he's a winning flavor. I don't think he's the right fit for this team, nor New York, because he can't handle the pressure. Lights are too bright. I believe he can't handle that kind of pressure. Yeah, and listen, we got a lot of. I want to have egg on my face. I want this team, of course. I want to go for the Rocket, you know, for the championship and all that stuff. But we got to think realistically here. We all thought last season that the moves they made, Kemba and all that fun stuff that they did, these smoke and mirrors that did, and they had to clean up the mess, the front office, because of what they did last season. That's why I believe that front office is still trash. What they did. Oh, let's clean it all up. Let's sweep it under the rug because, you know, the fans won't notice. We don't talk to them, but we won't notice that they made a mess last season. So, listen, I want them to succeed. Hey, listen, if Randle has a great season and we get to the playoffs and we're winning, I don't want to have an egg on my face. I'll take my lump. I'm not afraid of that.
Look, no one was more critical and pissed. I mean, I wish I was rocking with y'all back when he pooped the bed in the playoffs. You know, I was very critical of him there. However, he didn't have much help either, you know, quote unquote, you know, what was going on then. But I think the clock struck midnight finally. Unfortunately, it was at the wrong moment. You know what I mean? But the thing is, this was never an issue with Randle. No one ever talked about this stuff before in all the years in the NBA he was in until last year when he was in a frustrating situation, regardless if it was in New York or LA or New Orleans or Phoenix or wherever he could be. He was a frustrated player that didn't handle his emotions properly. And I agree. And unfortunately, as big of a stage New York is, and how the media can't wait to put out some bad press about the Knicks and drama about the Knicks, all that's you think he's the first and only player that was upset and disgruntled with the fans and made gestures at the fans or rolled his eyes at the fans, or, you know, come on. You know what I'm saying? It's he's not meant to be the face of a franchise. Okay, I agree with that. But to be the third, fourth option and to dominate his position in a lot of games, that's what I need him for.
No, it's a lot of between the years, Coach. You know that. It's all mentality. It's all his mentality up there. If he knows his role, yeah, then find a role. But he's not number one option. Tibbs made him seem like he was the number one.
That's what I just said.
Yeah,
he was the number one option because that's all that the coach was given. Yeah, who else did he get? Who else was going to be the number one option if it wasn't for him?
Well, then that falls back on the front office, doesn't it? So
yeah, you know what I think is going to happen? This is what's going to happen. They're going to trade. If they don't make a trade by a trade deadline, I think the Knicks will probably be what, 500. I'm gonna give that prediction. Made 500 at the trade deadline, right? And they made to make a move to get them over the hump. Of course, Leon Rose and them are not gonna make that move, and that's when everybody's gonna get fired at the end of the year. Because what's gonna happen is we're gonna slowly start losing again, and then everybody's gonna get fired at the end of the year.
And we're not gonna have a good draft pick.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
That's our luck.
That's exactly.
So,
what's
Coach, let me ask you something. Coach,
this is for you. I'm pulling a Randall right now. This is for you, Bo, in the chat right here.
So, Coach, you're a big Randall. So you're a Randall fan, right, Coach? You're a big Randall fan.
I'm a Knicks fan.
I think the entire panel is Randall fans, right? The entire panel, everybody up there on the video panel.
Nope.
Yeah, and shout out to all the Randall lovers in the chat.
He's the best four we got.
Yeah.
Trash.
It's a bunch of Randall lovers. It's a bunch of Randall lovers in the chat, bro.
I'm good.
Yeah, man.
We got. I'm telling you, it's do or die this season.
So you want to start Obi then?
You said what?
I said that? I never said that.
You want to start Obi?
No, I don't want a slam dunk contest. I wait for the All-Star bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like
everybody afraid to say.
Okay, well, then that falls on the front office.
You got to deal with what we got. So
that's it. I understand. Got to be positive. The rose-colored glasses. I know. I gotta have them on, but I take them off now to see what's going on.
So is that Leon rose-colored glasses or Derrick rose-colored glasses?
Yeah, there you go. See. He killed it. He even killed that phrase.
I want some rosé colored glasses.
right.
I'm gonna have to drink a lot of that with this season. Who knows? I don't know.
and shout out to all the Randall lovers in the chat, man. I see y'all out there. You know,
shame on you.
It's a couple of people in the chat that mildly dislike Randall, but I think it's because they love Randall but just want him to be more productive. So shout out to all the because at the end of the day, if Randall was hooping, would we really even be having this conversation?
I wouldn't be having this conversation. I wouldn't even bang on Randall. My thing about Randall is uber talented, offensively and defensively. My thing about Randall is this though. I don't think he plays winning basketball. Now I don't know about all of y'all, but I still play my NBA 2K11. Personal opinion that NBA 2K11 is still the best 2K.
That's the GOAT. That's the best one he ever made.
That's NBA. That's still the best out there. See, on my career, the little Stephen A. Smith character on my player said, yo, Shaq, he did a quote by Shaq. He said Shaq said that when he stopped caring about his numbers and started caring more about team play, that's when he started to win. Basically, he was saying Shaq admitted that he was padding his stats. So when I asked the question that when I declared things like I think Julius Randle was padding his stats, it's like that's out of the question. Ain't no way. I'm saying it's possible because how can you have the numbers that you have then and most throughout your career, but you're not winning nothing? How can you be as dominant as you're being, but you're not winning nothing unless you
wait. Oh, okay. So let me address that. I'll address that. What did those rosters that Julius Randle were on look like?
Mm-hmm.
The Pelicans?
No. No. You said all those rosters, and I'm asking you, what did all those rosters look like that Julius Randle was on?
The Pelicans was fairly decent. The Pelicans were fairly decent.
But their all-star was hurt, right? Their all-star was hurt, and their lead guard was hurt for a lot of that season. That's how come Randall got the chance to show what he could do, right? Those are facts, right? Because Julius Randle doesn't get to break out if Anthony Davis is starting, right?
I get that. I get that, Freezy. But what
about the Lakers though? What about the Lakers? How'd the Lakers roster look?
I don't know how long Randall been with the Lakers. I could have sworn
he was there when Randall was there. They got the number 2 pick in the draft 4 consecutive years.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta earn that though. You know what I'm saying? Well, the Lakers they give it to the Lakers sometimes too, but yeah. And the Knicks, just in recent memory, the Knicks point guards with Julius Randle were named Alec Burks, Elfrid Payton, Kemba Walker, Derrick
You
Rose.
said Alfred Payton?
Elfrid Payton.
Okay. See, all right,
And he had Elfrid Payton for 2 seasons too, by the way.
he did. But what I would say is this: Julius Randle is not the type of power forward, like y'all would say about Obi Toppin, to where he absolutely needs a point guard for him to be effective. This dude is strong enough. He has the talent to basically dominate his position, as the coach would say, by himself. He doesn't need a point guard to do that. Now, would the point guard make things easier for him? Without a doubt, if Julius Randle chooses to play that pick and roll role, which he's more.
Yeah, but the thing is, I agree with you, and you're just solidifying my point. Like, yes, he does those things, but he was also asked to do the things the point guard needs to do. That's the problem. But he's not built for that. RJ's not built for that. They're both not built to have the responsibilities that a competent point guard is supposed to be taken care of.
And that's
now,
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, but now once in a while, they bring it up on a transition play or whatever. That's one thing, but actually running the offense, dictating the play and all that stuff, that needs to be the point guard, not one of them two.
I agree. I agree with you, Coach.
And that's what. And the thing is, we can't go into Randall's head and be like, "Oh, he's only thinking about stats." I'm assuming everyone's played some kind of sport at some time. When y'all play, you want to win, right? And if you're competitive enough, you get mad as hell and get pissed when things don't go your way.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's right the way he did it, but I'm sure if I took a poll of everybody, would you like Meta World Peace or Ron Artest as your power forward in his prime on this team? Would you like Dennis Rodman?
Coach, we won a game the past season. We won a game, and Randle charged off the court like a big baby. We won the game. He charged off the court. You support your teammates. Come on now. You don't act like a baby run off the court like that. I forget what game it was, but I remember very well him running off the court. He didn't support his teammates. What? You don't have a good game, you got to support your guys.
What if he called his teammates trash all the time? Or beat up his teammates or bully his teammates? Would he be a good teammate then?
But you're winning. What if you beat up your teammates and you're winning?
A guy named Michael Jordan used to be that way, and he won a whole bunch. I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan at all. But you're picking on a dude, and you're downing the guy because of how his behavior.
Why did I'm switching gears all over the place because I'm just firing up shots. But what? Wait, okay. Anyway, why do we get Cam Reddish on this team? Why did the front office team get Cam Reddish? Why? What was the point of that deal? Just to get Kevin Knox off the team? That's ridiculous. Come on. He didn't even get play out of this guy.
I hope we got him so we can play him. I want to play him.
We didn't just get him as a trading chip that we're not going to make a move anyway with Donovan Mitchell. But well, that's another story.
The highest upside on his team. He has the highest upside on his team, bar none.
Yeah,
the highest upside on the team.
I would love to see the kid play.
And he can already defend better than most people on the team. Now, compared to him and Grimes, that's debatable. But he could already.
Well, that's the point. Like, I don't mind when people have an opinion of not to play Randle. They don't want Randle, as long as it has something to do with something that makes sense. Like, to me, and I'm not disrespecting your opinion. I just don't think his behavior and his reactions, like, are enough to say he's trash. Like, you cannot like someone's personality and hate.
He makes enough mistakes to lose a game, Randle, by ball hogging it and just taking it in the ISO. Come on, you can't tell me you don't see that with Randle here. Come on.
But do you think? But that's not Randle's choice. It's not like he came into this possession. Oh, all right, everyone, Don't listen
Are
to
you
Coach
going to be
Tibbs.
mad that he
This
takes the
is
ball
Randall's
out of,
team. We're doing Randall ISO right now. It's
are you
not
going to be
Randall's
mad that
choice.
he takes the ball out of Brunson's hands to walk it up the court with the ball? Because that's what Tibbs wants or whatever? Are you going to have Randall walking it up the court? He's going to be the ball with maybe 10 seconds to go. I don't want him to have the ball in his hands.
But the thing is, if
facilitating,
if that's what's happening, if Randall is still doing and RJ are still having to do what they did last year, then obviously it's a problem. But it's physically impossible for them to do what they were doing last year because we actually have a point guard that's going to be doing the things that we hated them doing.
So, I don't know. We'll see. We will soon find out. I'm very skeptical. If we come out of this shoot winning 10, 15 games and we have a winning season, I got egg on my face. I'm good. I want to have egg on my face.
Hey, D'Angelo, did you just say Randall brings the ball up and it's 10 seconds left on the clock? Bro, it don't take cats like 15 seconds to bring the ball up. But
give it take a few.
That would be a backcourt violation.
Yeah.
I think I'm talking to Cully. You in the dark right now. What's going on?
Man, my computer is misbehaving. My computer is on spring break, bro. And
we'll get a lighter or something.
Yeah, man. How about I'm gonna get an owl lighter?
Yeah. What's up with these men?
Hey, to be real, I would start OB over Randall. I don't think OB's by far. He's not better than Randall by no stretch.
No, he's not. That I don't agree.
He's not. However, I feel like he is a better fit because of his ability to play off the ball. He doesn't have to put up the same numbers Randall will get, but he could be just as impactful.
I mean, just take away the numbers. Who's the better shooter
between him and Randall?
Yeah,
that's at this point I really don't know. Because all right, so put it this way: Obi was a decent shooter in college. He was a decent shooter in college when he came into the NBA. I don't know how many minutes he averaged, but
what conference?
Well. Randall wasn't hitting well either. What was that?
I mean, Randall played at Kentucky.
Yeah,
and
Obi wasn't shooting in Kentucky like that.
And Obi was at Dayton.
Right.
So.
But what was Randall's game when he was in Kentucky?
The same.
Pretty much the same.
No, it wasn't. It was bulldozing his way to the basket. That's why people compare him to.
That's not. Yeah.
Well, they had a point guard. Their point guard was better than the point guard we've had the last 2 years.
Yeah. Obi, come on, yo, the Randall conversation is so crazy. Cats are like, yo, Randall just changed his entire game because he put a Knicks jersey on. Come on, man.
That's the thing is, some players are. He's adapted his game to blend in with our problems. If you think about it, it's not that he changed his game for the worse or whatever. He's always had these skills, and on the other teams he was on, he didn't have to show some of the skills that he's showing with us. So, and he's adapted his body. He's changed his body a little bit to try to become a little more fluid and more athletic.
Twice. He's done it twice since he's been here.
So
I'll give him credit for that.
What he's showing to me is, whether you think it's for selfish reasons or not, he's adapting to his career and to me, that's a professional. Okay, now is he over emotional? Yeah. Does he react well under pressure? Maybe not. I don't know. But as far as better than his replacement, 100%. Unless you get a top 10 power forward that's 27 or younger, not interested.
That's the thing, though. Like,
that's what he represents. Think about it.
If that's the case, then again, like, why was it like? See, the numbers that y'all putting up when it comes to Randall, that's fair.
I didn't say anything about numbers.
So
the thing is, he has adapted. For the guys that are saying that he does not adapt, he has adapted his play to the shortcomings of our team. I'm not saying it's for the better of the team or it helped or it worked, but some of the things that he's done is in direct correlation of our shortcomings as a team. That's the point I'm getting at. So anyone that doesn't see that, wants to twist around my words and how I said that, so be it.
All right,
I'm not saying you guys, some guys in chat,
I would say
They're
this
saying
again.
that stuff.
Randle is uber talented. He really is. His game, his when we talk about the past season that went on, when the starting unit was thinking up the place, Randle was spearheading that. He was spearheading that. Let's call a spade a spade. When the bench mob was closing out huge leagues for us to end up losing games, when Tom Thibodeau would put out Randle and at the time Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier out, that's again, I'm gonna put all of that on Randle. And people will say, "Well, look at the people he has around him." I get that to a degree, but if that's the case, why was the bench playing better than the starting unit in the first half of the
That's a
season?
good point. That's a good point.
Well,
What do you consider playing better, though? I mean,
yeah.
Come on, guys. They was
Wow,
clearly
you could see that?
in the first half of the season. Clearly.
there's elements of that on a lot of teams in the NBA. The bench comes in and there's this like perceived bump up in energy.
Them, because they're playing against second units.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Second units against second units, man. Come on, man. And let's not say first unit. The second unit was playing strictly against first units, because that's not true either. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
I'm not saying that the second unit is more talented than the first unit. I'm saying the playing styles clearly was different from the first unit to the second unit. The second unit played a faster game than the first unit. The first unit was more of a you could pull up the pick and roll stats. I know that's what you're gonna do, Uncle Freeze. I know you. But
you want to know why?
I got the stats.
Of a lot of ISO ball.
First unit did look like trash, though. They did.
No, but look here's the thing. If the NBA's talent, okay, was all the second teams in the NBA are playing each other. If that was the ceiling of talent in our NBA right now, our team would be successful because technically our second unit's point guard play mixed in with everyone else's is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
As far as all the second units in the league.
Because of Derrick Rose. Instead of saying the second unit, just say Derrick Rose was the key. Because everybody else on that second unit 2 years ago was wildly inconsistent, except Burks in the fourth quarter. There is a such thing as fourth quarter Burks.
That's right. I give Derrick Rose his credit, but I got to give the second unit their credit too, because your point guard is only as good as the supporting cast of the team, and they was hitting their shots. They was cutting the basket. They was moving the ball.
They shot 39% from the
who.
What happened when? Wait a minute, hold on. What happened when the first unit came in at the end of the game and we lost the game? And we were taking the second unit, putting them back on the bench, putting the first unit in, and we were winning. There were plenty of times that Tibbs did that. You could look up that ratio if we got some wins out of it. The second unit bailing us out and winning the game.
Hey, DM, I would be with you, but what I would say to you is this: I think the Knicks roster has a legit dearth of superstar level talent. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of games, stretches of games, when superstars step up, I just think other teams had one and we didn't. You know what I'm saying? And I know that sounds wild, like, you know, well, what does that mean? If you had a 5-point lead, you should be able to win a 5-point. Man, when other teams have James Harden's, Steph Curry's,
of
Damian
course, it's going to make a difference.
yeah, and we counter that with a 32-year-old Derrick Rose. That's our counter,
and it's still our counter.
Yeah, and it's except he's 34.
Thank you, front office. Great job.
Hey, front office, that was excellent.
No, it's excellent. Yeah, it's going to pan out this season. I hope I'm wrong again.
But see, here's the other thing, and I'm not telling anyone else how to root for our team. Everyone has a right. Everyone else has the right to root for their team and be critical all you want.
And we love the diverse conversation.
Right. But however, if you go into the mentality of being like, you're yelling at the screen the whole time, God, just put the backups in. Come on, just put in the second unit. Put in the second unit. And then all of a sudden the second unit comes in and there's a little bit of positivity and there's a bump up in the score. Everyone's all, I told you so. I told you so. But I'm sure you can go into many games last year where the second unit was in and we didn't do doo-doo. Okay? Right. So when you want to think of the times that fit your point you're trying to make right now with this, yeah, that makes sense. But there's a lot of times
because the second unit's making they're playing so
didn't
much extra minutes to cover up the mess from the first unit. They're playing extra minutes. That's why they run out of gas.
But
they're
that's
not
not the
robots.
first. That's D'Angelo. That's not the first unit fault, bro. That's Leon Rose's fault for not having
I've
the
been
quality
saying
first
that.
unit.
Yeah, he screwed up a lot this offseason. As much as we're going to give him kudos for it. I ain't giving him anything.
Maybe there's an illusion our second unit is so good because our first unit wasn't good enough. You know?
Right. Is that Julius Randle's fault?
Yeah, it is.
Everything's Julius Randle.
Yeah, blame it on Randle.
No, listen. When hasn't, when you are the most played on the team for that time, and you're considered to be, quote unquote, the face of the Knicks for that time, when doesn't the blame go on you first? Like, when has that changed with us? Like, why are we observing Julius Randle with all these criticisms that we would give other players who's thinking up the joint?
I would say though, it's there's a clear double standard, right? Because when Giannis was in this same situation in Milwaukee, before Chris Middleton stepped up, nobody was blaming Giannis because the Bucks couldn't win. They were saying that the roster wasn't ready.
Right.
When it was Steph Curry and Monte Ellis and Andrews Biedrins, you know what I'm saying? Nobody was blaming Steph Curry about the Golden State not winning. They said the roster wasn't ready. But since it's Julius Randle here and we're not winning, we're blaming Randle when there's a clear double standard. There's a clear double standard on how we judge Julius Randle.
Egregious.
I agree, but for a different reason. Because we judge Cam Reddish in the same manner. We talk about his mentality. We talk about whether he has a good work ethic. We talk about everything other than his game. That's how we judge him. But when we talk about Julius Randle's mentality, y'all talking about the dump down. Oh, he has an attitude.
But Don P, let's check this out though. How did the Atlanta Hawks do last year? They're in the same 3-year window we are. 2 seasons ago, they made the playoffs. They were the 5 seed. Last year, they had a down season. How did they approach their offseason? They traded and upgraded at positions of deficit. Right? The Knicks, we went out and got Isaiah Hartenstein. We got Jalen Brunson. We didn't draft a first-round pick this year.
We didn't.
No, we passed out cats.
Right, and then on top of all of that, we're looking back at the season past, and we're blaming Julius Randle for the fact that Alec Burks started 48 games at point guard. How is that Randle's fault?
Nah, I'll get at the coach. For sure. But
Julius Randle also didn't sign Kemba Walker. Julius Randle did not hurt Derrick Rose's ankle when Rose was supposed to be out for 3 weeks, starting in the beginning of December, and did not return for the season.
Well, it goes in that pecking order. Obviously, it's the front office, we know, and it goes right on down the list.
Yeah, but here's the thing, guys. Like, and when Freezy's making this comparison, okay, about Randle and these other guys, some of these guys weren't even superstars yet. Okay, Giannis, he played about 3 or 4 years before people were like, oh.
Yeah, I brought up his
look at this guy. You know, same thing with Curry. He wasn't Curry he is now. His first 3 or 4 years in the NBA.
But we're talking about Julius Randle in his 9th year.
No, I understand that, but those guys like Randle, we didn't bring Randle in here to be the savior of our team. Okay, you guys, because he had that one season, think that all of a sudden the Knicks front office and all of us think we've anointed him as the guy. He's just doing all he can to better himself and try to win games. That's all he can do. And if the number one role de facto goes to him, why is that his fault? That's just the way the team's built. I mean,
you feel he said this because Hardwell, you right. I used Atlanta. That was a terrible example. I use another example of a player at the same position. My bad, coach. I just want to clarify because I was wrong.
Yeah, go ahead.
About Atlanta. So don't use the Atlanta example. How about we use a power forward that was an all-star and was an all-NBA player? How about LeBron James? LeBron James 2 years ago made the playoffs. Last year, he did not make the playoffs, right? And this year, they have a roster influx. Do you hear people blaming LeBron James? No. They're blaming the front office because the roster was whack.
Yep.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Or if you don't want to blame LeBron, if you don't want to blame LeBron, right? You don't want to blame LeBron. How about let's look at blaming Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal was on a team that made the playoffs. Remember, they were in the play-in the year the Knicks made it. Last year, they were trash. Nobody's blaming Bradley Beal. Knicks fans, so we turn on ourselves to. We don't have the thing. The thing is with Knicks fans, yo, we don't have a rival or an enemy because our enemy is within.
Yep.
I'm gonna do a pushback to the whole Bradley Beal thing. The Wizards was notorious for always having a bad to at best a decent squad, but at least when John Wall was there before his injuries, he always molded into the playoffs. Did he not?
Yeah, but where's our John Wall?
You said wrong.
Wait, what?
John Wall didn't take him to the playoffs.
Bro, you said the Wizards had a bad organization, a bad team, and John Wall took them to the playoffs. Bro,
Yeah,
what have the Knicks been for the last 15 years?
You said what?
You heard me, Don P. You heard me.
No, I didn't hear that. I talked over.
What have the Knicks been for the last 15 years?
Listen, our team has been horrible too. I get that, but we always been
right.
better.
What are we saying?
But
yo,
but here's the thing, like we want to blame the only two guys that played somewhat good. Like if it wasn't for RJ and Randall, how does this team get 37 wins? You think the bench gave us 37 wins? Come on, man. What world are you in?
See, Uncle Freeze, my point with the whole John Wall thing was even though he had around him, he always found a way to carry him on his back when healthy and bring him to the playoffs.
Right.
More excuses needed. And if they was playing bad, John Wall was the first to get criticized. So shouldn't the same standard be for Randall?
No. Because what I'm saying is John Wall and Beal, they were all stars, weren't they? Okay, so where was Randall's other all star technically?
You said John Wall had all stars?
Yeah, John Wall and Beal were all stars together, weren't they?
Yeah, they was, but I would say this, Bill. It was a thing about their fit between Bill and John Wall. I think John Wall, for the majority of the time when healthy, was the one doing most of the lifting. Bradley Beal did his thing, but I do remember because I followed the Wizards in terms of their playoff wins and everything. Bill wasn't showing up like he was supposed to. It was John Wall doing all the heavy lifting. The only other person who was showing up alongside John Wall at that time was Marcin Gortat, ironically. So, we could say all stars, but if you're not showing up, you're not showing up. My point is this: Julius Randle was marketed to be the face of our team. He was marketed.
No. What are you talking about? Randle was the consolation prize because we didn't get KD and Kyrie. Okay, well at least we got somebody. That's what Randle was. It wasn't like we brought Randle and he was the Carmelo signing. Even though Carmelo was our consolation prize, but we didn't get LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the same thing. Y'all, I honestly think that the New York Knicks brought Randle in saying that he's our savior. When have they portrayed that?
They're trying to make it seem like he is the franchise.
Who?
No, I think the Knicks think RJ's the franchise, bro.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think
Really?
I think RJ's
Well,
probably.
they did when they were trying to offer him for Mitchell. I guess when they were trying to trade him away. So,
How many wins do you think we would have had if Randle did not play?
24.
Honestly,
22.
Honestly, Coach, I don't know. Honestly,
I'm not going to just be fed with the front office wants to feed me. That they just overpump their guys and just say,
And so who are they? The front office don't say crap. They're not pumping anybody. This is my own vision that I've seen. Like, yes. Did they hold the ball in ISO too much? Yes. Did they take dumb shots at times? Yes. Did they force shots a lot? Yeah.
I know this is the team that we got, Coach, but you feel comfortable saying that going to war with Randle to win the big trophy, he's the guy that you want on your team.
Yeah. If he was our third or fourth guy that we're counting on to be the driving force, yeah,
the number one guy. That's the problem.
To what?
He thinks he's the number one guy between his ears, within his brain.
He's the number one guy because right now we don't have a better alternative.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I thought.
I want 5 guys on my team starting that
you
think they're the number one guys.
I mean, come on, Coach.
I'm sorry, what?
And we're comfortable with 20 starting too, right?
What were you saying? Because of your phone, you broke up.
Yeah, we gotta. I don't know, the electric bill or something.
I know. I was telling Coach 5 guys, burgers and fries.
Oh yeah, I want 5 guys. Yeah, yeah, I want that too. But I want all the guys on our team to think they're the number one guy. That's the mindset that ballers and dogs gotta have.
I feel real confident with Fournier starting too. So.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, what?
we're oozing with. Hey, and so D'Angelo, what I'm saying is this, man. Like most of the stuff that you're saying, bro, I agree with you. My deal is though, I think it's unfair to just blame one player, just one entity, for everything that's gone wrong with the Knicks.
Of course, you can't just blame one guy for all the ills of the team. I could play. Right. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
No, I know. You didn't say that. That's what Don said.
I think his attitude is very problematic for this team. And if they're trying to build anything, you shouldn't build it with Randle. I'm confident on what I say there. I just don't think that guy's right. His mentality when he plays, big baby. He really is.
But you're right though. And me and you had this discussion. We had this discussion.
Plenty of time.
We had. I think it's in November. Basically, what I said was anytime a team builds their team with the enforcer as the star player, you're always going to have mess like this.
Yeah. Agreed.
Right. Like when Barkley was the lead guy in Philly fell apart. When Dr. J and them was there with Barkley, when Barkley could just be the third guy, Philly could win. Right. As soon as Philly got into the 90s, where all those vets were gone and Barkley was the man, Philly fell apart. He went to Phoenix and won the MVP. Right. Right. But as soon as the vets in Philly started going by the wayside, trade Hornacek and all them guys and Kevin Johnson get old and all them guys, Philly fell apart and Barkley was a mess. Right? It's the same thing. No matter who, if you have an enforcer as your star player, we're gonna have these conversations of an immature. Yo, you remember the Indiana Pacers with Ron Artest and Jermaine O'Neal?
Yep.
And you remember Ron Artest was a star player, was the best player on that team, right? And guess what happened to it?
Malice.
We're always going to have this conversation. Anytime an enforcer is the best player, and this is not something new. This goes all the way back to right. You can even say that Draymond Green lost the Golden State Warriors a championship because LeBron fell on him, and all he had to do was get up and walk away. Instead, he kicked the man in the crotch. Anytime an enforcer leads the way, is the lead dog, your team is going to look like this, bro. It happens. You can't depend on them. And the reason why they are enforcers are because they have this mindset, this bully mindset. And it never goes away. You can't be the sometimes bouncer. And anybody here anything know about being a bouncer? You know what I'm saying? Listen,
Y'all do.
you can't be a bouncer mindset on Friday nights and on Saturday nights you want to be a dancer. You know what I'm saying? It don't work.
That's a fact, Phoebe.
It don't work, and that's the thing with Randle. That's the thing with Randle. Like we keep like just nailing this point, and then the fact remains is talented as Julius Randle is. He is an enforcer. That's why you see him. That's why you always see him go to beef. That's why when the team. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. No, go. Keep going.
No, that's why when the Knicks win some games and you see Randle pouting, he not pouting because you know what I'm saying, he's mad because the team won. He like, who them dudes think they is? They think they're gonna be fouling us late like that. They just gonna push us around. But big dog, don't worry about that. We up by 5 with 30 seconds to go. Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? These dudes over here think they're just gonna foul us and hack us up. You know what I'm saying? An enforcer is in an enforcer mindset all the time. That's why they are called enforcers. When the Pittsburgh Penguins was hot, you never gave the Samuelson brothers the puck so they can go score. They wanted to fight. You gave Mario Lemieux the puck. You gave Jaromir Jagr the puck. You gave Ron Francis the puck. You know what I'm saying? The saying, Alf Samuelson, you think Alf Samuelson could skate. But you think he wanted the fancy skate around the thing? Nah, 6'5", 228. He wanted to blast your best player in the mouth. Right? And like the Phoenix game where Randle got kicked out of the game, the Knicks lost. You know why the Knicks lost that game? Not because Randle was scorching hot. But the Knicks are soft without Randle. That's why they lost. That's why they lost to Atlanta in the playoffs. That's why they lost to Phoenix. Because here's the thing. If Alec Burks, think about this. If Alec Burks hits 2 free throws, Cam Johnson doesn't get a chance to hit that game winner for 1. Right?
Yeah.
And for 2, if he does hit the shot, it's a tie game. But people talk about Randle getting kicked out the game, right? Alec Burks was at the free throw line to ice the game. He missed. He didn't box out his man. His man gets the rebound. A 6'7" dude is looking at a 6'8" dude in transition. The hottest dude on the floor. He goes to double team a dude that don't even have the ball, leave Cam Johnson wide open, and Cam Johnson makes the shot. But we blamed Randle. Yeah, and he wasn't even there.
No, I get
I'm just saying, like, a lot of people fixate on a couple of bullet points here and there of a couple of instances that rubbed them the wrong way, all this stuff, and they run with it too much, man. You got to look at the whole collective of the whole ball of wax, the whole season, all 82 games.
Yeah, we just don't understand it.
Yeah, Randle is just what he is, and it hurts the chemistry of the team. Right. And number 2, this team is not a good defensive team. They're not good defensively. Mr. Genius Tibbs couldn't even get them to play defense. Couldn't.
What's considered good defense to you?
Not letting them score 140 points.
Or contesting, closing out on.
But no, I understand that. But there you go again. You just because something happened a couple of times, you're pitching. You think that's who they are.
What was the record list? We played good. We were a good defensive team.
It's because we couldn't score. Yeah, we were 9th in the league in defense.
In defensive rating, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. And we were 9th. And D'Angelo. And here's the thing: we started out 28th. Remember, we started out 28th. Remember, we started off to a slow. We got off to a slow start. We played a double overtime game against Boston. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
First game. Remember that?
Yeah.
And so we started out teams scoring a whole bunch of points on us, and we slowly chipped away and got to within the top 10 throughout the season. And this is what I'm telling everybody. Listen,
I hope, Breezy, not to cut you off. Seriously, I hope everything turns around this season. That's what I hope for. Right now,
I'm not doubting that.
I'm the duck thing in the sky. He's skeet shooting, whatever I'm saying. It's fine, and I understand. But listen, I'm just saying, I hope everything turns around this season, and it's got to turn around for the better. Because if it doesn't, heads will roll.
Heads will roll.
No, and I understand your frustration, but you and other fans that look at a couple of bad games like that you happen to watch or pay attention to. I'm not accusing you of only criticizing those couple games or whatever.
Yeah, because D'Angelo's hardcore, bro. D'Angelo.
But like all because you saw a few games where you got mad because we got scored on too much. That those bad things are so ingrained in your head that you automatically think that's what we are.
I want to win. That's it.
I'm not doubting that. Of course, I agree.
And what I would say, just real quick, D'Angelo, what I want to say to everybody is, if Randle could just be in that enforcer role as, say, the third best player, he would be perfect.
I would accept that.
This is exactly. But here's the thing to it: the Knicks are having the hardest time in the world getting a number one guy here, right? And keeping Randle. Keep Randle as the number 3 guy, the enforcer. Because y'all don't remember. Y'all don't remember little stuff like me playing the Sixers. Joel Embiid pushed Mitch. Tobias Harris come and jump in front of them, and when they see Randle coming, they take off and go the other way. Like little stuff, bro. Our team is a bunch of, bro, the guys that we root for are finesse players. Think about this. Coach want to see Cam Reddish break out. Cam Reddish is not an enforcer. There are a bunch of people in the chat that want to see Obi Toppin break out. Guess what? Obi Toppin is not an enforcer, right? Like we want to see RJ Barrett break out. Guess what? RJ Barrett is not. Even though he's tough, he is not an enforcer, right? You got to have dudes on these teams, man, on a team with you, unless teams are going to bully you. I'm not saying that the Knicks are soft, but they for sure are not rugged as the New York Knicks teams of the past.
They don't have the eye of the tiger.
For certain.
Yeah, they don't have the eye of the tiger, a lot of them. And they're young. They're young.
Right.
So I always bag on RJ, but RJ seems like he's tough. He got the eye of the tiger.
He's tough, but he's not an enforcer. Being tough just means you can dish out and take punishment. It don't mean you're an enforcer. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference, right? There is a difference, bro. Julius Randle will be straight as the third guy, right? He'll be straight as that, right? As a matter of fact, I'll tell you who missed Julius Randle this year. If they had him, they might win the NBA championship. The Phoenix Suns. If the Phoenix Suns last year in the playoffs had a Julius Randle type to keep cats off of Devin Booker, because y'all know Ayton ain't no enforcer. Ayton is a skill big. You know what I'm saying? He big. He looked like Tarzan, but he played like Jane.
Mm-hmm.
That was why all the stuff went on with Phoenix. You need dudes with attitudes, bro. You got to be tough. The Milwaukee Bucks won a championship. You know who they had? They had Bobby Portis. They re-signed Bobby, but Bobby Portis is an enforcer.
And who do we have as an enforcer?
Randle, and he our best player.
But Randle plays like Mary Jane.
Randle plays like Mary Jane.
Dude who plays a finesse game. Yo, hey, Uncle Freezy, you said it yourself. He prefers to do pick and pops. He prefers to shoot because he don't want to be injured. Drive into the paint.
No, it's not that he don't want, bro. It's about what you can afford. You know, role men get hurt all the time. Mitch is always hurt. Mitch was always hurt except for this season, his money bag year. You can best believe he's sitting out with injuries this year. You can guarantee that, Jack. Nerlens Noel played 26 games. And he's a role man. Role men and wing defenders stay hurt. It's this thing. Like I don't know why we don't get it. Like we'll say something like, well, I don't want Zion because Zion stay hurt. But then you look at OG Anunoby, he stay hurt. Paul George stays hurt. Kawhi Leonard stays hurt. Brandon Ingram stays hurt. These dudes, man, these wing players stay hurt. These bigs are always injured, bro. And you want Randle to do that? You want Randle to guard on the perimeter and roll to the basket and be a rim protector?
That's winning basketball though.
No, that's injured NBA players.
Sometimes your jump shots don't fall.
Right, like Anthony Davis. You want Anthony Davis to do that, right? How often? When's the last time you see Anthony Davis? When's the last time you see Anthony Davis completely healthy?
Anthony Davis is the glass man, yo.
Because he defends on the perimeter, he defends at the rim, and the Lakers force him to be a roll man. And then when he gets hurt, people are mad that he's hurt. Roll men it's like playing fullback and tight end in the NFL. Bro, people get a full head of steam to be physical with you.
So you want somebody as strong as Randle, who's usually or probably the strongest player on the court most of the time. You want him to play a finesse game to where he's shooting most of the time and not rolling to the basket.
You ain't said that when Dirk was doing it. When Dirk was a perimeter shooter, you didn't say Dirk rolled to the basket.
Dirk won a championship with a flu playing that way. He's an exception.
How old was Dirk when he won though?
He was about 50, 60 years old.
But that's what I'm saying. Like so Dirk was a loser until he won.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like people that Patrick Ewing's been a loser. His whole career is a loss. Barkley's whole career. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Listen. See, my critique about Randle is not about the other players in the league because you want to put Patrick Ewing in there. He had it. If it wasn't for Jordan, who knows how many championships Patrick Ewing would have had. If it wasn't for Reggie Miller, who knows what success the Knicks would have had.
Right. Let me bring one home for you. One of the best role men that we ever seen, like during this current era, was a dude named Amari Stoudemire. Right, one of the best role men in the modern game. Right, he was in that pick and roll with Steve Nash, bro. It was like one of the most beautiful things you ever seen. How long did Amari last as a role man?
Uncle Freezy, come on, bro. I'm gonna answer your question. He didn't last. He had to add more to his game.
Yeah, he had to add some post stuff to his game.
He had to add
because being a role man is not. Yo, what about Blake Griffin with Chris Paul? I remember Blake Griffin with Chris Paul. Blake Griffin was an elite role man to the rim, right? And then Blake gets to a point where he's like 27. And all the bounce is gone. Now he has to be a distributor, playmaker. Right?
Look when Brook Lopez was with the Nets, and don't get it twisted, he was
Williams.
He was he was doing that pick and roll with him. He was an inside guy, grabbing rebound. I mean, he was a prototypical center. And then all of a sudden, now he's a 3-point shooter. You know what I mean?
This is a bad example.
No, but I'm saying he changed his game. Look, when we make comparisons to other players, it's not that we're comparing their games to each other. We're comparing for the example of people change the way they play, because of the way they used to play. And when we bring up Barkley or these superstars, we're not comparing Randle to those people. We're comparing it's an analogy of the situation of the role.
I said role. I mean, coach. You know,
exactly. But these people that sit there and say like, "Oh, this is horrible comparisons." Yeah, like we're comparison.
And I specifically said role man. Right? I said role man. Sean Kemp was an excellent role man for 5 or 6 years. But Sean Kemp got beat up over the years, bro. It's one of these things, bro, dude. And you have to be, man. Look, man.
Uncle Freeze,
it's crazy.
This thing has credence to it. Like I get it. There's no but to that. The only reason why I brought up the whole thing of Julius Randle being the strongest player on the court, why not use your best asset to its advantage? That's my problem with Julius. Why not do that? I understand you run the risk of being hurt, but you're not playing winning basketball.
Okay, so if he is the picker, if he's the roll man, who's playing point? Who's the pick and roll handler? If he's the roll man, the last 2 years, who's the point guard? Who's the pick and roll ball handler?
For all I know, Deuce McBride could be the point.
No.
And he could still roll to the basket. Listen. I'm not saying pick and roll is a fundamental basketball strategy that you know from AAU all the way up into the NBA. That's not something you taught when you get into the NBA. That's a fundamental skill. Now you could pull up stats and say that we trash at pick and roll. We may be. But I don't see Randle rolling
28 in pick and roll efficiency.
I don't see
30th in assists.
I see Randle calling for the ball at the top of the key or playing pick and pop. I don't see him rolling to the basket though.
Yeah. And if I'm Randle, I'm not rolling to the basket because you're picking. How are we gonna say we need a point guard and then say, well, run the pick and roll with Randle? That's like saying, let's fly a plane. So
that's too easy to defend.
You let's fly a plane. You get the plane and don't have a pilot.
Yeah,
I gotta see Randle roll to the basket.
The teams will know how to defend that because they know what the threat is in that scenario.
Pick and roll is the hardest strategy to defend. Even now, as simple as it is, it's still hard.
Yeah, but I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying to you is for one, rollers to the basket stay hurt. You asking people to run through bodies, bro. You asking dudes to run through bodies to the rim. There is no clear path to the rim because if there were, the ball handler would take that path. You asking a roll man to set a screen, physically mash somebody, and then run through bodies to the rim.
Most effective play in the game, Uncle Freezy.
Okay.
Even more effective than pick and pop.
All right.
You threw Dirk in there, and I understand why you did that. But Dirk was the best who ever did it as far as a big man playing that finesse game.
Okay.
Because he stayed healthy. That helped a lot of. I'm not discrediting Nowitzki's talent at all. But a lot of his
Dirk is a top 3, maybe top 5 power forward all time.
Now his legendary numbers and stats were longevity based. He played at a high level for a long time. Right. So because he stayed healthy. Think about it.
But we're talking about players with two natural skill sets. Dirk came into the league a straight up shooter.
He was a scorer. He was a scorer. I think he was a scorer first, and then the shooting came along to the point where he was probably the best shooter in the game at one point.
Yeah.
Regardless of position.
So because he wasn't banging in the pick and roll game and rolling to the rim that much, like a lot of power forwards do, his career lasted longer because he had the ability to shoot.
I'm gonna give you an example. Remember Kristaps Porzingis? If it was him on the chopping block, I would not say, yo, Kristaps Porzingis need to roll to the basket. Nah. If you look at his body, you could tell that he's injury prone. He doesn't have the muscle to sustain all the damage that's gonna come his way. Randle, on the other hand, Randle be moving people out of the air when he jump. Yo, he's one of the strongest players in the league right now. Why not use that to your advantage?
No, I agree. He should.
Because all it takes is for one injury to ruin a season. I don't know why you're not getting that. All it takes is one. All it takes is a broken bone in the top of your foot. Your season ruined for dudes that weigh 250. Every dude. You name a dude in the NBA right now. Name one that's 250 and above, and I can point out the injury history. Name them.
Name
anybody. Anybody 250 in the NBA.
What was the first thing, man? You said name who?
Name one. Name somebody 250 and above in the NBA, and I could point out their injury history right now.
I don't care what nobody say. I think Carmelo Anthony at one point was 250. He was fat at one point.
Well, he wasn't listed. He wasn't listed at 250.
He was fat at one point.
He wasn't.
I think he was
David Parker says LeBron, right? LeBron. Yeah, we don't have to. LeBron's list of injuries is long.
It's catching up on him. Now, I don't know if it's size related but
What about Embiid? Embiid
Yeah.
280.
Yeah. So, Uncle Freezy, so you wouldn't be upset if there's a league full of big, strong, big men never rolling to the basket and applying shooting from the perimeter? You wouldn't be upset with that?
You taking what I'm saying out of context. So first of all, what I'm saying is role men are often injured. Wing defenders are often injured. When you just suggest that they just do more, just do what they normally do and do more of it, you're asking them to run the risk of injury more. It's like Mike Allstott, and I know y'all don't know who Mike Allstott is, right? I know y'all don't know, right, who Mike Allstott is, but Mike Allstott was a big dude that could run, right? But they ran him a lot on short yardage instead of having him be a featured back. And basically what that means is they line him about 4 yards deep and let him get a full head of steam and crash into the line instead of playing a tailback position where he could pick a hole and do his thing at his size. Right.
And he had to retire early because his damn neck.
Yep. Jammed up. The same thing with Yeah, coach. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The same thing with tight ends. Tight ends in the league don't last because a safety gets a 22-yard head start to get to full speed and blast them in the abdomen. You know what I'm saying? Receivers don't get that. Receivers are already back out. Receivers, it's like 10 yards. You see them coming, they can just lay down real quick. Not tight ends. Tight ends have to be physical. The same, you asking Randle to do the same thing. Run, you're a big body, so run through other big bodies to get to the rim.
You know, and the thing is, you know, you say the pick and roll is the most successful play in the game. I agree, but you can't run it effectively if you don't have shooters that you can count on as a threat on the perimeter.
I agree.
Okay, to dish out to as one of the options. You don't have ball handlers that are competent enough to do the other most important part of the pick and roll. You know, it's there's all these other factors, man. And look, I'm not trying to be an apologist. There's parts of Randle I think need to be fixed more, just like anybody. But to pin the blame on him, we should be thankful, honestly. If it wasn't for him, we would have been crying a lot worse than we are now.
Yeah, I think he perfect. I think he perfect for who he is. I just think he's miscast in his role. He should not be the star of the team. He should not be the number one option. He should not be the one at your press conferences. Randle is a number 3 and enforcer. That's what he is. Go get you a number 1 guy. Go get you a number 1 and a number 2, and let everybody else acquiesce to their natural things. As a matter of fact, I think this is the year that you see RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is the key. Yeah, if RJ Barrett and Julius Randle switch places, boom. RJ Barrett's number 1, Brunson's number 2, Randle's number 3. I think you see this team flourish.
Malaki. RJ Barrett, the key?
Yeah, RJ Barrett's the key.
Why not?
Oh gosh.
See, this is what's crazy to me.
Okay.
We hold our own players to such a crazy standard compared to, like, there's been other 22-year-old players that average what he's averaging, has done what he's done, and we still find ways to criticize this dude. And he did all this. The other 5 guys that are in that conversation with the whole before they were 22, they did blah blah blah. You know, the points, rebounds, you know, all that thing with Luka. Basically 5 legends: Luka, Kevin Durant, LeBron, Kobe, okay, and RJ Barrett. Okay, I'm not saying he's in that company, but the difference is those other 4 guys, they were in a lot better team situation than RJ Barrett was. Debate me on it right now. Get on the mic if you think you can debate me on this.
Hey,
those other four guys were in a lot better situations.
Did you say debate? Did you say debate? Because we gotta.
No, I'm just saying, like those four players, out of those four, who had the worst? When you add RJ as the fifth guy, who had a worse team situation than those other four guys in the first 5 years of their career?
RJ.
First 4 years of their career.
RJ.
Exactly.
Coach, do you think the criticisms against RJ is unwarranted?
I think it's over. Yes, I think it's overly critical.
Overly critical?
Yeah,
So-
I think our expectations, especially what we've had, our expectations are way too crazy for where he's at right now at his age. I think we should be happy and thankful we got what we got, the 22-year-old budding star.
Most players usually, like you said something that was key earlier. You said most players usually don't make that jump into their fourth or fifth year. Am I misquoting you?
Right. It's right around. So this is his year.
Right. So with that said, would you agree that most players don't make that fourth or fifth jump until they get the minutes and the usage rate to match their talent?
No, that's not the case. It's a mixture of things. The other pieces of the team, it's where, as long as not too much is falling on that said player. All right. An example of this is this. Jimmy Butler was getting plenty of minutes starting his second year of his career. He had trash efficiency his second and third year of his career. He was playing under Tibbs, and at 38 minutes a game, he was averaging like 16 points a game on like 38% shooting, like just like RJ's efficiency.
But his defense kept him on the floor. Like
his defense kept him on the floor. So that team was in the middle of kind of getting built, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, D Rose took off, and then Butler's efficiency got better, and then he became a 20-point scorer, and then all that happened. Then unfortunately Rose got hurt, and then it changed the whole dynamic of that team.
Dean got hurt.
Yeah,
Carlos Boozer left. It was like a whole, yeah.
And then Jimmy Butler went off and did his own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to me, this is the turning point moment. The getting the Brunson, the point guard, the team makeup right now, like it's put in place right now for RJ to make this step and prove the doubters wrong, as far as the ones that are doubting, his ability to be an all-star. Like, if he can't do it in this environment that's being put with him right now, then I agree that he's not the one yet. Okay, so I'm man enough to think that, but I'm just trying to be optimistic.
Tibbs developed Jimmy Butler. Let's not get it twisted. Tibbs got Jimmy Butler as a young player and developed him over the course of multiple seasons. Let's not forget, Jimmy Butler wasn't all that coming out of Marquette. Jimmy Butler had what they call heart.
Exactly.
He was a dog. And Tibbs took that and developed him, kind of like what he's doing with Grimes right now. He's taking a young dude that was miscast in a role and is developing him into something greater than he would have been if he had gone to another team. So if you're a fan of Grimes, man, watch this Grimes and Thibodeau relationship. It's going to be something special. And I'm not saying that Tibbs don't like other players. That's not what I'm saying. Don't get it twisted, right? But Tibbs is going to take this ham sandwich and is going to feed a nation off of it. Tibbs is going to take this ham sandwich and feed it. Hey, y'all, I got to run, y'all. I got to run. I got to do some work, man, before people start calling me.
All right,
hey, man, hey, y'all, thank y'all for coming through. Don P, as usual, man, it's a pleasure being with you again, man. Bro, hey, we love you, right?
Don P, it was good rock with you, brother.
Hey,
Don
man.
P, we love you, right?
Y'all, man. I be wilding sometimes, but I love y'all, man.
Yeah, man, it ain't nothing but that.
It's part of the entertainment value, baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
sometimes
man.
You got to turn the dial and tweak the nipples.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And shout out to our boroughs. Shout out to the Bronx, New York. Shout out to Brooklyn, New York, man. Shout out to Staten Island, everybody, man. Y'all have a peaceful day,
Queens.
man. We'll holler at y'all later, man.
Easy.